Hey guys, I kind of wanted to talk about nostalgia. I used to be really nostalgic, and I used to think about the better times, obsess and wallow about the better times. And what were the better times? The better times were like when I was a kid and I was playing some of my favorite video games, and I was just lounging around in this magical fantasy world of video games that I was playing. And when I got older and older and older, I never really wanted to let go of those video games, of those memories of when I thought I was at my happiest. And I started to learn that I have a personality type. It's like a judging personality, INTJ, where I'm constantly evaluating, like, did I do the best I could do? You know, could I have done something better in the past? Could I have taken a different direction? And I kind of just like obsessed and wallowed in that escapism. It's hard to explain, but I thought about a lot of those things, and those doors, those possibilities probably wouldn't have been any better than how things developed anyway, to a large degree, to some extent. I don't know. I started to realize that, like, I don't appreciate the here and now. I either have like some long-term goal, some distant vision of where I want things to be, but I don't want to be burdened by all the steps I have to take in between to get there. So I would just like kind of fantasize about the end goals, fantasize about when things were better, because I didn't want to do all the appreciation of the here and now. And I started to see that some other people who have similar personality types to me were doing that as well. Oh, things could have been so much better if I just did this one thing in the past. Or, oh, you know, I could have had all these things. Things could have been amazing. And just kind of really taking for granted everything that I have. And fantasizing about things that I don't have, or that I could have had, or that I used to have. And I started to see other people with similar personality types to me doing those same things. And seeing people that have a different personality type to me not doing those things. People enjoying the here and now, not the past, or how things could have been, or where things I wish they were, but I don't want to bother to do the work to get there, kind of things. Where you basically just have your head in the clouds and you daydream and think about possibilities, or when you were doing things that you really enjoyed. But the thing about nostalgia is those things are dead and gone. And you can see a lot of people that are like middle-aged going back and playing their childhood video games, even though nobody else is playing those games. Those games are dead. Everybody moved on. Everybody is appreciating their current life. But there are people out there that are nostalgic, that try to live in those fantasy worlds, try to live in that past. And honestly, there's not as many as you think. Sure, there's people that collect retro video games and they have their own mental disorders. But if you actually look at a lot of these old games, nobody's playing it. Even some of the older Battlefield games that are not even that old, nobody's playing them anymore. At one point, a lot of people were. So a lot of the most nostalgic stuff I used to enjoy, nobody's really playing it. Maybe, 10, 15, 20... maybe a couple hundred people if you're lucky. But nobody's really enjoying or living in those past memories. Most people have moved on. But again, there are some people that still try to relive that nostalgia. And they don't get any views on YouTube. They're just playing through the same games, the same levels, the same content for no reason. And, you know, a lot of these different experiences, especially observations that I've noticed that other people have been doing that I did. Oh, things could have been so much better if I just did this, or, you know, living in the past or living in the future, and not just sitting down and enjoying today. I mean, that's one of the biggest things where, like, I can't enjoy reading, I can't enjoy a fake story. You know, some people, they can sit down and watch a movie. But I'm like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to watch a movie that's based on fantasy. You know, I want it to be real. I want it to show results. You know, I want results. I want, you know, meaningful stuff. I don't have time to waste. And it just makes it where you don't live in the here and now. You just want some sort of result. You can't appreciate things, and it actually makes it extremely difficult to get things done or to progress when you have your head in the clouds and you're thinking about where you want to be in the future, but you're not willing to take the steps to get there. A lot of times the steps it takes to get there seems pointless. Seems like a waste of your time. Kind of like reading a book or movies. No, I don't want to take these college classes because what's the point? I'm never going to use it, and it's just wasting my time. And then you start to realize you're going to waste that time anyway, being nostalgic, or having your head in the clouds, or living in a fantasy world, coping to feel better, you know. It's hard to touch on all the different things. I was looking at some stuff similar to this, like the other day. I can't recall a lot of it, but it kind of triggered a lot of these thoughts where it's like, yeah, those people that can't sit down and study, those people that are always procrastinating, those people that are always trying to distract themselves from the here and now and what they're supposed to be doing, basically to just get dopamine, you know, living in the fantasy instead of putting in the work to get to that fantasy, that end goal. You know, why not just sit there and daydream about it? Or think about the past when you were happy and you didn't have to deal with any of this or think about any of this. So that's really all I wanted to talk about. It's sad when you see people that are nostalgic, or people that think, oh, if I would have just done something a little bit different, things would have been better. Yeah, and they don't appreciate anything. They don't appreciate what they have. They don't appreciate the here and now. They don't appreciate where they can actually be going. They'd rather just try to take a shortcut by imagining it and living in their fantasies and their nostalgia. And honestly, if you go back to that stuff, nobody's there anymore. It's dead and gone. Maybe besides some fat middle-aged idiots who booted those games up again. And they shouldn't even be on there. They should move on with their life. You know, time's passing, you're buying shit.